YouTube is loaded up. Give me a moment. And it's like we are. Yep, YouTube is looking good. Let me mute that sound so I can keep track. I'll keep track of the chat here for any requests. Keep track of the chat on Instagram for requests. All right, starting up X, the Big Daddy X. There we go.
Big
All
on
right.
X. I don't like X for some reason.
Oh, you'll warm up to it, don't worry.
It's full of personally I think it's full of people that just want to show off.
I hear you on that.
Most of them.
One cool thing about X I like is the algorithm is really good. So
Yeah.
like it'll connect you with the right people at the right time, and the more you connect with people that appreciate what you do and things like that, the better it gets. And
hmm
like I've been making tons of amazing friends, and look, I think it's actually like one of the probably the top one in my books at least, especially from a tech perspective.
Yeah, yeah. It depends on which niche you are in.
Right,
So
right.
when it comes to the industry that I am in, which is the Forex, right?
Yeah,
Then you have too many people just trying to show off.
yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. Show off and chill. Um, Alrighty. So I think let me just confirm something. I got one more information to make. All right, looks like yeah. So unfortunately for the Instagram folks, I apologize. We still haven't fixed the aspect ratio, so that's going to get fixed up. Don't worry about that. Feel free to also, if you want to see the full thing, check out on X or YouTube for now. But um, but yeah, we'll fix that aspect ratio later. You can still just listen because yeah, we're going to be pretty detailed. So you could just put it in your headphones if you want. So my name's Igor Kamolov. I'm here with IT Trader. We're going to be doing, we know the bell hasn't rung for Forex. It's the new year. Happy New Year, everybody. What we're going to do today is go over the year 2024 on a high level, looking at market geometry and structure for the different pairs like dollar index, well, the different indices and pairs. We're also going to cover the crypto market and select tokens that we are constantly verifying with our team. So just to make sure that all the due diligence is there. I'm actually not in my office today, I'm actually just with some family for the new year. Um, Went to bed at 10:30 p.m. last night because I'm too excited for this and didn't wanted to make sure that I'm all brushed up and alert. So yeah, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and shut off my video and audio, and I'll let IT do his thing, and then we'll take some questions. I'm gonna field YouTube, Instagram, and X. If you wanted to see some charts or have any requests, feel free to uh, shout it out, and if I see it, I'll ask IT to have a look. But yeah, let's why don't we get started, and I'll pass over the microphone to IT.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Igor, and welcome to 2025. I think everybody's excited for the new year. I am not as much as a lot of people, but it just gives a fresh start, a fresh new outlook to things. So I'm excited for this new journey, and I hope our members too will be excited. Um, so let's have an outlook of how 2024 played out on the market, especially the dollar index, because when it comes to the market, the dollar index is king, whether you like it or not, because that's the currency, international currency traded at the market. So you always have to look at what the dollar index is up to, right? So let's have a look at the whole outlook of 2024, and then maybe look at what 2025 has in store for us. Then we'll look at some of the majors, probably look at gold and oil, because those are the two that I like personally trading. And then if anyone is interested in indices, then we can move to cryptos and anything else. Because I think yesterday when we were doing the live session, the test, I said that the way I look at the market, it has nothing to do with the actual asset class, because price is price unless they are fundamentals, and even the fundamentals will always be in accordance to what price is doing, right? So we will learn more about that in the future. But let's have a look at the monthly chart on dollar index. Now, something that I mentioned yesterday regarding price is how fractal it is. And basically you can look at something on a 1 minute time frame and probably see the same thing on a month. You can see it on a 1 minute time frame and then see it on a monthly time frame. It's fractal, so it's the same. And in future, I'll teach more about what fractals is in depth. But looking at how 2024 traded, we had the first kind of quarter going up, and then the second quarter coming down, third, and then last quarter kind of pushing higher. Not quite what I was expecting. I was a bit surprised with this whole move to the upside, because I was expecting the last quarter to send us lower, because I was seeing a potential pullback on the high time frame, but went up. So we will see what 2025 will give us. But overall, we had a nice in the first quarter. I had a really, really good first quarter with this movement to the upside. Initially, I was expecting them to go for this high during April, May period, and then coming back down like this one did over here. But they actually decided to come down for the second and third quarter, right? And this is what took me by surprise, because after this rejection, I was anticipating that the last quarter will then carry us to take out this low and then probably drop down into somewhere in here. However, they decided to send it up, which I did catch most of it, because again, price is fractal. You just have to follow the money. Again, we will learn more about that in future, how to follow the money. So overall, not a bad year. Um, Decent moves happen. The only time that it was a little bit challenging was up in here when price was kind of consolidating. But after we left that consolidation, if I drop down to the weekly, you see, after we left that consolidation over here, then it became much easier, because what I was anticipating on dollar index was them to key off from this down candle, right? And then take it for this equal high. And it started doing something like that until it actually changed the course of its movement. And then when it was coming down here, that was also another struggle. And that is something that as a trader, you're always going to go through. You're not always going to be 100% correct. You will go through challenges and you have to accept those challenges. So these were periods where price will kind of test you. and then here. But once we decided not to go down and then this candle popped up, then you switch and it's all nice and rosy again. Now, that's something that most traders struggle with. When they are wrong, they don't want to accept that they are wrong, right? And that's something that in future we will learn more why people do those things. But looking at where we are now for the trajectory 2025, I'm watching how this whole area is gonna play out for the first 1 month. I'm watching this imbalance in here on the monthly, right? I'm watching how price. I don't believe that we will be going up here yet. I don't think that will be the case based on how I see price. I don't think we'll be going up there yet. Now, based on seasonalities, most of the time you have the first quarter actually trading higher for dollar index. That's why last year, we're in 2025 now. That's why 2024, I was able to capture this whole move to the upside because if you look at market seasonalities for dollar index, you will see that most of the time between January and March, you will see dollar index going higher. Okay. And if you go back in time and then just check what I just said, you see every January to March, the dollar index kind of move higher. Now, since they've gone up already for the last quarter, which again, based on seasonalities, was supposed to go down, right? They've done the opposite. So it's going to be a little bit tricky for the first quarter. That's why I will personally be watching and paying attention to how they're going to be trading above this high. They've actually closed above it. So anything coming back down, I will see it one as a pullback, but with the potential that this being this equal low, this low and that low being equal, with the potential that they might go below it and then come back up. So this is what I'm actually looking for going into 2025. I'm looking for a move down and then a move back up to take out this high. Okay, and the reason being this is the last impulse leg to the upside on the dollar index. So ideally we should have come down a little bit more and then go higher, but they did find support at the 50%. So if you look at the fib level, they did find support at the 50%. Didn't quite get to 618 to the 79 retracement level. So most of the time, again, if you backtest this, you see that if we do find support at 50% and then price rejects, it doesn't make a new high. It will kind of create an equal high like this, and then it will come down and then go higher, right? So for the projection for 2025, that's what I'm actually looking for. Now, if you trade the currencies, you need to be careful going short on the foreign currencies. So, for example, if you trade euro, pound, New Zealand, Aussie, um, going down, you need to be careful because they are extremely high or the majors are extremely low. Dollar is extremely high, especially trading above a high. And anytime price is trading above a high, you need to be careful because above highs, that's where smart money likes to accumulate shorts. So don't be excited chasing this movement to the upside. Okay. And like I said, in future, I'll talk more about how I do anticipate price moving lower. Okay. So maybe the first week of January, I'll just be observing, or we will just be observing price and then see what NFP will also even bring so that we will see if they want to come back down first in the form of a pullback. And then once we get down here, we watch and see how they're going to play out, if they're going to reverse and go higher or they're going to just straight through it, as I was mentioning, and then go to OT level. Then we can anticipate the movement back up again. Okay, so with all that said, you can just reverse it for the um, majors. So looking at euro, um, you can see, let me, okay, that's the one. Looking at euro, you can see that I'm watching this area here. So it's quite the opposite of what the dollar index is doing on the monthly. Okay. So you're watching this area to see how price is going to react in there. Again, price was meant to trade. Euro is just the opposite of dollar index. Price was meant to trade higher into this candle and probably somewhere up here before moving lower. Now, they've kind of moved lower, but I don't believe we're supposed to be coming down here yet, right? So, like I said, it's just the opposite of the dollar index. So let's see how the dollar index is going to do on the first week or the first 2 weeks. Now, something that in future I'll be talking about is how smart money comes into the market, or even how to just read these candlesticks, because they do have something that if you are a little bit observative, if you observe price, you'll see that price is doing something consistently all the time in terms of just looking at the candlesticks. And just to give you a clue, there is always sometimes a number of candles that can move lower at a time, and then a number of candles that can move higher at a time. They will not constantly be dropping, especially on a high time frame like this, unless we have some, terrible news or like COVID. Okay. When you don't have serious issues, global issues going on, then the candlesticks don't go one direction, especially on this high time frame. They'll go down and then maybe come back up and then go down. Right. So when you can see the number of candles that has dropped, maybe you can anticipate that the next few candles is going to be an up candle and you can take advantage of that. Okay. So um, that will be euro. I'll be expecting something in here, in something to form in here. Now, to be specific, and let me just mention this. Pretty much, I am an ICT student. So most of the things that I do is from ICT. Apart from few things that I have personally sat down and back tested, most of this is going to be my understanding of how I see ICT material. Okay, so just to put it out there, in case someone might be wondering, how do I trade? I am an ICT student, but I kind of done a lot of back testing and I've seen certain things that I have come to terms with, and that's how I trade. So I combine what I have experienced with what I learned from ICT. Okay, so this being from ICT, a fair value gap, I'll be looking to see what price is gonna do in here. Okay, um, British pound, same thing. This whole move to the upside kind of looks like it was going higher, and then right now we are back down here. Again, I'm watching to see how dollar index will behave, and then I'll take a position either to come back in a pullback or to completely even go up one more time. But that's going to be based on what the dollar index will give me in the first quarter. Okay. One pair that I'm extremely watching is this one here, because I can see that once this low is taken, it's an important low, it's a yearly low. Once that low is taken, something will happen, especially with this three down candles that is attacking it. So the first quarter will bring something for Aussie and all the Aussie pairs. So if you are a forex trader, look out for Aussie to give you something for the first quarter, maybe a pullback. All right. But I'll be here. If I see it, I'll confirm it. And then if you're a forex trader, you can actually take advantage of it. Um, and the same thing applies to New Zealand. This low, yeah, that's a yearly low, 2022. So we might be taking that one out soon, maybe the first quarter, and then price might pull back into this range. Now, when we do get something like that, it's always nice to trade that pullback. All right, so that's something that we'll be watching going into 2025. Okay. Uh, by the way, I'm just going through long term. I'm not going to go through the lower time frames because you don't need that right now. You just need to understand the bigger picture. Once you understand the bigger picture, then the lower time frames can start making sense. But since the market is closed today, we don't need the lower time frames. Maybe there will be shorts that will unfold on the lower time frame to continue going lower, but the market is closed, so we don't need that for today. I'm looking at gold. Now, gold is quite interesting because what I was expecting for gold, it's kind of playing out, but not the way I wanted it. So this monthly candle, this one, the December candle, I wanted to see them take out this low. And again, I'll be talking about this candle in future. But I wanted to see a big down candle go and attack this low. But that didn't happen. On the weekly, you can see we've just been just consolidating. It's not doing much. But based on how I see price, I wanted to see them go and attack this low. So again, January will give us more information, especially the first week, because the weekly candle has gone kind of in a small range. And then based on what I know from ICT, small ranges will bring out big ranges, right? So there will be expansion coming, but I want to see the expansion to the downside first, and then we resume going higher. Because based on the higher time frame, 3 months, we are still bullish. But being bullish on this time frame doesn't mean you have to continue buying. You just need to be careful because if we are trading above highs, anytime you see this kind of candle rejection, it might be a sign of a beginning of a pullback. Okay. So gold, we'll be watching how this week, I think tomorrow is Thursday and then Friday. Not much for this week. So we will see how next week we'll trade. And then based on how next week we'll trade, we'll get more information as to how we're going to proceed with on gold. Then crude oil, that's my little baby. I love trading crude oil because it's been very, very good to me over the course of the years. Um, that's one, I would say, asset class or one pair that I've been trading for a long time, since I think 2019, when I felt in love with the seasonal tendencies. And then I saw how oil trades based on the seasonal tendencies. I never left it. And this year was been amazing. I got a sell from up here to come down. I got a buy from down here. Um, sorry, here. I got a buy from here to go up there, and then I got a sell from there to come back down. Okay, so crude oil will be a nice pair for us to also be looking at. Again, if you trade commodities, that will be something that you can be watching out for potential trade ideas going forward. But looking at the big time frame, I was looking for that run for this low. And that's pretty much what I want to see in terms of manipulation for the first maybe month of January. I want to see them run for this low here and then reject and go higher. Where I'm watching to see if we don't do that will be this candle. this down candle here. Initially, I wanted to see this candle close above it. If it did, then I would have treated the crude oil similar to how, if I just share something like this to show you what I mean. Oops. Let's turn the symbols off and then put dollar index here and leave crude oil there. Okay, so this is what I mean. Since price is fractal, right? We broke structure here to go higher. We broke structure here to go higher. Price comes back down, pull back. Price comes back down, pull back. It meant to go up here. It fails, it comes back down. We are meant to go up here. It fails, it comes back down, right? And then this shoots up. So this candle, if you look at this candle here, is similar to that one. So had crude oil done the same thing as dollar index did over here, then I would have aimed for this high, similar to what dollar index did. But since it failed, that's why I was aiming for this low. So had this candle failed to close above this, then I would have aimed for that low. So that's the reason why I'm giving that down candle as my confirmation if we go above this. Now, there are different school of thoughts about how people see price. This, to me, is not a confirmation that we're going high. It's a rejection above the previous month high. Now, to some people, it might be that as as long as we've traded above the high, then they will see it as a confirmation to go higher. But to me, it needs to close. The closing and the opening price are very important. So I want to see them close above this high. Then I'll be interested in longs going higher. Until then, I am still looking for lower prices. And with that idea, um, with that idea in mind, I was able to, get some really nice sales course of over the course of the last 3 months. So here, I was able to get a sell, and I was able to get a sell to come down in a pullback. And even as price is going up now, I'm not fully convinced that we are going higher. Until we get the close above this candle, I'm still not fully convinced. So if I do get a confirmation that we are moving lower, then I'll sell it. I actually got a buy currently from here to go up to this equal high here. But that doesn't mean I'm bullish. I wanted to see them go just above this high into this nice big volume imbalance in there, and then maybe another rejection. Okay, so we will see going forward how crude oil is going to behave. And another thing that I love about crude oil is the seasonalities. Between January and I think April, crude oil is always bullish. And that's what I've been, privileged to take advantage of every single year. So every single year, provided that price will be trading lower when we get to that time of the year. So what I mean by that is if we are getting close to January, so let's say we are in December or mid-December, and then you see price trading down. So this is what I got last year. You can see November, December price was trading down. When you see something like that, that would be a nice opportunity to anticipate that the January to April seasonality on crude oil is something that will kind of high probability of being fulfilled in price. So this break of structure, at the time I was mentoring some students, so we took advantage of this whole move to the upside. Took advantage. I remember this move. One of my students was scared that it was going to go down, and I said, "It's not. as long as we are above this high here, this is always going to be a pullback. And then we got some nice move to go to exactly where we anticipated, which was that imbalance up there. Okay, so um, since we were not trading down this year and price was consolidating, it's going to make it a little bit challenging for the seasonality for this year. However, it doesn't change what price we do. If we see it going down January, because the seasonality is for between January and April. So the first month, and this is a concept by ICT. If you understand the power of three, right, the first month of the quarter can be the manipulation. So they can move price down to manipulate the quarterly candle. So imagine this candle here is a 3 months candle. The wick of that 3 months candle can be the January month. So they can manipulate it to the downside and then reject and go higher. So that's also a possibility. So if January sees price running lower, I'll anticipate a run below maybe this low here, or maybe just this low, and then a rejection start going up. The way I personally trade, I love confirmations. In the past, I just used to catch the falling knife, or I used to sell the rallying rocket when it's going down crazy. That's when I'm buying, and then when it's going up crazy, I'm selling. And most of the time, I got banned for doing that, and I stopped doing it. So now I basically look for confirmation until I get a confirmation that price is going up. I'm not interested. And if you look at yesterday in our test session, I mentioned something about Solana, right? That if I get the confirmation, then I'll buy it to go up. But if you don't get the confirmation, which I'll go on to cryptos. Let's actually go to cryptos now. So yesterday I was mentioning something about Solana, right? If you look at it from the weekly perspective, it's still bullish. However, this is a pullback. Now, you're gonna learn some cool stuff. When price is coming down like this, okay, and if you're bullish, it doesn't mean that price is gonna go up. Okay. That's one of the mistakes that I did in the past. When price is coming down like this, in my mind, is bullish, so I'm just gonna buy. But that has always not been the case. Sometimes a pullback can be a reversal, the beginning of a reversal. And if you're not careful and if you're not disciplined, then you're going to be in a serious problem because it might not continue going up and then price will just continue going down. And if you're not disciplined and emotionally not strong, you might not be able to accept that this is a reversal. And then you just hold on to some trade ideas, or you might hold on to your bias that price will go up and then you burn your account. Right. So even this being a pullback, I still want to see a confirmation that price is going up before I get in. Now, based on how I see confirmations, I don't see it yet. Now, most people will see that, okay, why don't you buy? Because it's still cheap, it's still in discount. The idea is you don't control price. Okay. There are some people that have more money than you do. So if you try to be cute and, want to be first in the market, sometimes you get yourself burned before price actually move higher. And that most of the time will be the case because they will manipulate price before going back up again. And I'll talk more about that in future. Price is always being manipulated. So for smart money to get into a position, they will have to manipulate the market, or they'll have to put it in a say prime. And like I learned this from ICT, they will have to prime you. They'll have to make a fake move to show you that it's trying to do something whilst they are doing the opposite. For example, this whole move to the upside. If you were bullish, you're gonna think that it's going higher, right? But then boom, price goes lower. So there is something about this move to the upside that you need to understand. And once you understand that, then you will know when they are going to manipulate, because this was manipulation. And in future, you'll be able to know how this is done, right? So if price is going to go up, there will be some form of manipulation first, and I don't see that yet over here. Okay. If you're a long-term trader, that's what I'm talking about. But short-term, I think yesterday I talked about um, this down candle when we had our session. I think, if I'm not mistaken, price was somewhere here or somewhere there. Yeah, yeah. And I mentioned that they might be going for this high, and that's what they did. And price came back. The reason why it's doing that is because it's not ready to go up yet. Once it's ready, you will see it, because price doesn't lie. It's always going to tip its hands before it does what it needs to do. Okay, so if you're a Solana trader, long term, now if you're a long term trader, let me talk about that. There's nothing wrong buying where we are with your protective stop below this candle. Okay, with your protective stop below this candle. Why? Because if it's going to go up, it should go up from where we are. Just that if you want to get a good entry and don't want to sit in what is happening now, that is why I personally wait for confirmation. But if you're a long-term trader, say you're a swing trader, then basically where we are now, you get in, leave your stop loss or your protective stop. I don't know much about cryptos. They call it liquidation level or something like that. Leave it here and then just hold on to it, because if it's going to go up, it should move up from where we are now. It should not go below that. Okay. So if you're a long-term trader, then that would be a good level to basically get in. However, if you are the sort of person that wants a good entry, tight stop loss, you're looking for a nice risk to reward, then patience, because I don't see it going up yet. Okay. So that would be for Solana. I think they went just above this high, which to me is too shallow. It needs to go a little bit more. So you might see a continuation to the upside, um, maybe the first quarter. But that's going to depend on how this candle will hold price, right? Again, do not assume or take my words for it that it's going to go up from here. Technically, that's what's supposed to do, but fundamentals, those that understand fundamentals, I don't know much about crypto fundamentals, but if you know what Solana is and what it stands for, and you're bullish, then where we are now should take price high again. Okay. Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin from the weekly perspective, let's look from the monthly perspective. So from the monthly perspective, we've just closed the month of December and it ended up as a kind of a rejection. Now, when you see this type of candles, again, just go back in price and then you see similar examples. Whenever we have such a wick, a down candle, rejecting an up candle with a wick like that, there's always going to be some form of a continuation the following month. Okay. And again, just study candlesticks. You learn more by studying candlesticks than learning some stuff. Okay. Because price is fractal. So if you can see on the monthly chart, always start from the high time frame, then move lower. So from the monthly time frame, if you can see anytime we reject a high, there's a movement down. If you reject a high, there's a movement down. And this is not going to be different. Okay, so there might be a movement to the downside for now, and then a continuation to the upside. I think yesterday I gave a prediction that we might see 126 based on the projection of this move to the downside. Yeah, I was not far off. Yeah. So we might see a continuation to that level. However, it's not going to do it in a straight line, and that's most of the time the problem. Because from the high time frame perspective, you might see what price is trying to reach for or what price is trying to do, but how it's going to get there, that's always going to be the problem. So you need to understand the lower time frame a little bit. So if you go to the weekly and then the daily, then you begin to kind of piece how price moves from a lower time frame perspective to the higher time frame. So from weekly time frame, we might probably dip in here, and then resume going higher. Now, again, I don't always go with the assumption that what I'm expecting should be the same thing that um, quote unquote I should be rigid. Sometimes you need to be flexible because the price action is dynamic. Okay. There are people that have more money than you and I that is involved in this, that are moving price. So you need to be dynamic because they can come in and do anything at any time. That's why it's important to understand how they trade. And they trade based on the higher time frame. They look at the big time frame to see the projection, to see what price is supposed to be doing on the high time frame perspective. So, like I said, from the high time frame perspective, this level will be the next upside objective, but it's not going to do it in a straight line. Okay. How are they going to move from where we are to there? It could come down here and then resume going up, or it could move from where we are and then go up. I don't know. But when they start doing it, I'll see it. And that's the benefit of understanding the higher time frame. Because when it starts moving towards that level, you will see it because they cannot hide it. Because there's always going to be some form of a fingerprint from smart money showing you what they're trying to do. Okay. So when you understand that, then most of the time you not worry yourself too much. Okay. So Bitcoin, we might trade down into this um, imbalance, if that's the right word, imbalance, and then move higher again. Okay. But do not take that word for it because these two down candles could be all that is required, and then they will move up again. Okay. And how I look for confirmations is basically a run below low. So they could just take out the previous month low, which is this low here, which is likely going to be the case. Okay, they will take out this low here, which is that one. Let me go to the daily there. So this whole from this line to that line is the entire month of December, and the low is there. So we might see a run down below that and then a rejection. Based on how I read price, that is likely going to be the case. Okay, they will move lower and then move higher. Yesterday, if had this candle closed above this high, which is what I was saying, if we closed above it, then there was a possibility that the next candles could have taken us up into this fair value gap, and then either going above this, then we go to that level, this high here. If we go above it, we'll be moving up there. But as long as we are below that, we'll be coming down here. So that'll be your lower time frame, basically price action. If we go above this high, we'll be challenging here and then going for that next level. As long as we are below this high, we will be coming down here. Okay, so if you are a buyer long term, then just be patient. If you're short term in nature, then maybe you can play with the lower time frame a little bit, which for today, I'll not be doing that. Maybe in future we will do that. But for today, I just want to give us the outlook on the big time frame. Okay. Um, Mr. Igor, are you there? Is there any questions from our viewers?
Uh, hey there. So yeah, this is great. Uh, just I'm just watching and in awe and also taking notes on physically. And if anyone watching it isn't actually taking notes, highly recommend you pull out a piece of paper and actually write things down as things are explained so you understand them better. Of course, we'll be uploading this for everyone to watch over and over and over again, and and also doing a TLDR for all the levels and everything like that. Um, but yeah, so I'm just looking through the different chats. Just give me a second here. Let me see what's going on. So people are asking about the tech and stuff like that. We'll go over all that. Don't you worry. Um, this is really focused on the live session. One second. Don't really see any questions right now, and that's fine. I think just keep going and do your thing, and then we'll do that at the end, right?
Okay, cool, cool.
Yeah, nice, awesome.
All right. Okay, so let's look at Ethereum then. Um, let's see what the Ethereum market is also showing us. So with Ethereum, I think currently we might challenge the all-time high. Um, we might challenge the all-time high. This rejection doesn't look great, but for now, for the time being, based on what I'm seeing on the monthly, we can go with this high going to be the next upside objective. Um, now, if we will challenge this equal high, this down candle here, or um, let's say this swing low needs to hold. So this low here needs to hold for us to challenge this high. If we lose that, then there's a problem, which probably I don't think that will be the case. However, like I said, there's no fix in the market. There's nothing fixed. You can't say definite something like this and then you stick with it. Because if you do that, you're always going to be in trouble. Okay. So with that said, this low here, I think should hold and then send us here. Now, looking at how the month ended, definitely this level will be traded too. I think in January. So you want to watch out for this imbalance and then probably drop down somewhere in here. They might come and then resume going high again. They did not trade too much above this high. So that can be considered as equal high. And I think they will be coming back for it. But that will depend on how price will trade in here. Okay, so look out for a potential manipulation to the downside and then expansion to go and take out this equal high here. Based on the what I'm seeing on the monthly. All right. So let's drop down to the daily for you to see what it means. This is the entire month of December. The low is there. And that's the level you currently want to pay attention to. Because once they run for that low, and I learned this from, again, my mentor, ICT, previous month highs and lows, previous week highs and lows, previous days highs and lows, previous quarter highs and lows. That's your levels to be paying attention to. Okay, because once price takes out those levels, there's always something happening. So this being a previous month low, which is basically where your fair value gap starts from. If I was to do the monthly gap, it's this low to this high. That's basically your fair value gap on the monthly. But since they've already traded here, 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 this will be where price will potentially trade to. So manipulation, again, understanding. If you're not an ICT trader, probably this would just not make sense. But just again, look at the candlesticks because the candlesticks teaches you more than anything else, right? Every candlestick has got a wick, right? And the wick, depending on where it's closing, there's a manipulation on the opposite side. So if it's closing higher, there's a wick to the downside, and then it goes up, right? And it's very obvious when you look at it from the high time frame perspective, from the monthly. Every candle has a wick on both sides. You will rarely see candlesticks without wicks, right? And that's basically the manipulation of those candles on the lower time frame. So if I was to draw the monthly candle for January, right, then this is where January is opening. So the movement to the downside might go like this. And if what I'm anticipating is right, then it will reject and then come back up. It might not be the January candle that probably go up for that. So, let's just give room for, um, I would say, error. It might end up as a candle like this. And then maybe February will be the candle that will go for that. Okay. So that would be what I'll be anticipating, a move to the downside and then a rejection to go higher. And if you go back to the daily, and this is what most of the time I will be kind of talking about, steady how big money comes into the market. If you want one piece of advice from me on how to basically look at the charts, not trade, how to look at the charts, study how big money comes into the market. Because this market is traded by big money. It's not traded by you and I. There's some people that have money, more money than you've probably heard of. Okay. And they are there. Those are the ones that they'll be in doing things like this. Okay, they'll be in doing things like this, and they are the ones in control, or they are the ones actually moving price. It's not you and I, it's them. So you need to understand how they trade. You need to understand how they come into the market and how they flow in and out. Okay, and if they are going to do it, there will be fingerprints. They can't hide it because and I love this analogy from ICT all the time. It's like the elephant in a pool, right? When there's an elephant jumping into the pool, there's going to be always something that shows you that something happened here, or an elephant in the office. Okay, it cannot hide itself. If you are all in a room right now and there's an elephant in there, it cannot hide itself. I can hide, but the elephant cannot hide. And that's how smart money is in the market. They cannot hide their footprints because they are so huge. Okay. So if they will come in, you will see it. And in future, I'll talk more about how you can basically see it. So for now, probably they are just on holidays. They are chilling, right? Just like everyone is chilling for between the second week of December till probably the first and second week of January. That's why the market has been dead. Okay. So just stay patient, stay put. When they start coming in, you will see the elephant. Price will just go crazy. Right. So anticipate a move to the downside somewhere here, and then we will see how price will behave from there. So if you are a short-term trader, maybe look for sales. Okay. If you're a short-term trader, if you are the sort of person that dips in and out, then buying is not the right idea right now. So basically look for sales initially to, hunt for this previous week low and then this low. Then maybe after that, you can look for potential moves to the upside. Again, I'll be here. And then if anything happens, I'll be updating everyone. Let's go and look at, um, I always forget the name. You got
Tetsuo.
two.
Tetsuo.
I need to, I
Say
need
it
to
with me,
write
brother. Tetsuo.
I need to write it down. I always forget it.
I have to
What's
get
the
you to watch Akira again. then you'll be good.
Let me write it the way I understand it. Tattoo.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the spelling of it is quite different from the pronunciation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's all.
Tattoo. Yeah. I
Nice.
wrote it down like this. That would be
Okay,
how I
cool.
wrote
It's
tattoo.
but let's correct it on that screen for people that A is a T is an E.
Yeah.
Just
It's
so
a
they
E,
know.
but the
Yeah.
pronunciation is A, right?
Okay, okay. I'm
That's how I can pronounce it anyway. Yeah. So let's look at tattoo.
just gonna say it one more time. Tetsuo.
Tattoo. That's it. Okay. So I think yesterday when we did the test, I said that um, something that I quite learned I would say a few years, probably 2, 3 years ago. When I'm looking at the market, I'm always watching where I'll be wrong in terms of my direction on the high time frame perspective. So that's something that if you're a trader, you need to always have in mind. In case what you're looking out for is wrong, where would that be? Because when they go beyond that, you don't need to consider your bias anymore. So I mentioned yesterday that I am bullish on Tatsuo as long as they are trading above this down candle, right? So anything coming back down will be considered as a pullback. Okay, anything coming back down will be considered as a pullback. So this is where I draw the line that if they breach this low here, then I'm no longer holding on to the bias to the upside. And that's something, again, I will recommend everybody to do. If you're a trader, you need to have where you will be wrong. Now, in the past, when I started trading, I was the sort of person that didn't like having a stop loss. And where I actually started learning my trading from, I'm not going to say their name, but they did teach us to have like a mental stop loss where you basically, because they didn't want people to be putting stop loss back then when I was learning. Like I said, I won't mention the name, but they always recommended to have a mental stop loss. So that mental stop loss means that as soon as price trades through that level, you close your trade. Now, it requires a lot of, I would say, discipline to do that. Because if you're not disciplined and price goes beyond your mental stop loss and you are deep in loss, you probably will not accept that loss. Okay. So that mental stop loss, I translated that into where I will be wrong on the higher time frame. So when I'm looking at price, I always have that mental stop loss on price. Where will I be wrong with what I am looking at? If I'm bullish on a pair, where will I be wrong? If I'm bearish on a pair, where will I be wrong? And once that is breached, then that's it. You switch, or you be patient and wait for more information. All right. So with Tatsuo, this is where I draw the line. We do not need price to go beyond this down candle or this low. If we do, for the time being, upside should be put to the sidelines and then just wait. Because like I said, it's still new. So this will be all accumulation. And I think I mentioned something about this weekly down candle. It's still in a phase of accumulation, right? So um, price will basically go up, but don't just blindly buy it. Just follow what I'm saying, and then you'll be fine. As long as we are above this down candle, we are going to go up. For the time being, if we are going to go to the levels that I was calling yesterday, this down candle needs to be breached. That's where we need um, price to go, and then we'll be expecting, I think it was 0.7. I'll do the projection again. Yeah, roughly 0.7. Yeah, somewhere there. With, if you are short term to swing trader, then you can take partials at these um, fair projected levels. Okay. So for now, that's what I'm expecting on this pair. This down candle, again, to me, was just smart money buying, and then we will see price go up. Now, keep an eye on here, especially this low. They might come back, sweep that one, and then go back up again. Why? Because if price is gonna go up, there's always going to be manipulation. On the weekly time frame, you can pay attention to that wick, right? They've already done that small manipulation. So the daily, if the daily is going to go up, then it's going to do the same thing. There's going to be a wick and then price goes up. This is a a small previous day's low below. I think this is Tuesday, which was the last day of 2024. That low is important. They've taken it, but I've not seen a confirmation on the lower time frame that they're going up yet. I don't trust this. This is not how price should be going up. It should go up like this. Okay. This is not how it goes up. If it's gonna go up, it needs dynamic move. This is not dynamic enough. So they might maybe come back and then the dynamic move will unfold. If that's gonna happen, price is very, very simple. Pay attention to this one. Okay. Currently, it's on the 1 hour. Pay attention to this one. This, if we are going to continue going up, they should hold and then take us up there. If they lose it, then what I'm anticipating, which is this gap here, is what you're going to be focusing on, and then a rejection to go up. Again, as long as that this one holds. Okay. So that's all for you. But it's I think it's in this initial stage, so it's exciting to see price. I'll be excited to see them expand above this. That's where my excitement will come in more for continuation to the upside. Because the way I see price from a fractal perspective, if we had more candles, let's say if we had, a lot of candles price action, then this to me should come back down here. Okay. If we had more candles, then this is basically a turning point that price should come back down to attack this store here. But since this is a new coin and it's in the phase of accumulation, that's why I'm expecting them to go higher, because there's no data to prove that this was actually selling. Okay, there's no data to prove it. Okay, if we had, let's say, crude oil, similar, let's bring in crude oil in. If we had this type of data and then price was, say, here. Let me see if I can bring my indicator in. Uh, Give me 1 second. Okay, go.
And nice. I'm just gonna make a little quick comment here. Like there's tons of fundamentals on Sol and Atsuo, the whole AI space as well. So that's everyone who knows that those fundamentals are playing in into price as well. So really looking forward to all the different releases and features and partnerships, et cetera, that are on the game board. But yeah, for the traders, especially the market will remain irrational longer than you could stay solvent, and that goes for every pair. But yeah, just wanted to drop that in there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Personally, fundamentals plays a key role. So if you are interested in a specific asset class, You need to learn the fundamentals of that asset class. I know fundamentals for the drivers for the currency market more than crypto, because that's what I started with. So I know more about the fundamentals. So I keep an eye on the fundamentals for the currencies. So if you are a crypto trader, you need to keep up with the fundamentals because those are the drivers that will either shoot them up. Because again, smart money will be interested in knowing whether an asset will appreciate or depreciate. And that's going to be based on the fundamentals. So if, for example, Tatsuo, the fundamentals will be showing that it's going up because of the features that is coming up and the technology that they are coming up with. So if you are an investor, right, you will want to, get in as early as possible. That's why I was saying that this is still in the phase of accumulation because as a new upcoming technology, most people will be interested in investing it at the initial stage. Not, for example, Apple, right? Apple is trading at, I don't know where, somewhere, I don't know, I don't check Apple, but Apple will be, let's say, 3 billion, right? Or 500 billion, wherever it is. When it was at 200 or when it was at, I don't know, 0.01, right? If you understood the fundamentals for Apple or what Apple company was all about, and then you bought at that level, you'll be a billionaire by now, right? The same thing with Tatsuo. It's still in the initial stage. So if you are an investor, if you are a trader and you understand what the company is doing and the fundamentals behind it, then it will be at a very good advantage for you to get in as early as possible at a cheap price. Again, that's why I said this to me is just accumulation because it's still in the initial phase. Right. So the earlier you get in, the better for you. Okay. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
I was saying, go ahead, you go.
my apologies. I was just gonna follow that up with like we're gonna be here every day covering these pairs and letting you know about the entries and things like that as well. So, for optimal entries and stuff like that, for anyone who follows these projects, you're gonna be able to see and follow along.
Yeah, yeah. And back to what I was saying that had this, let's say, let's substitute this for crude oil, right? And then say crude oil is somewhere here, but it has a lot of, market data behind it. Then I would have said that this move, because it's similar, okay, just learn the candlesticks. This is a high with a down candle. This is a high with a down candle. So what happened after that? Price just played around, and then finally came down to attack this low. So if there was a lot of data, then I would have said, then this is going to do something like this. But since we don't, and it's at the initial stage, and again, if we go back to crude oil, if we go back to when crude oil started being traded at the, um, I don't know, being listed as a market down here, that was very, very cheap. Okay. So something like that would, a down movement would just be telling you that someone was buying. Okay. Because smart money will buy when price is going down. Now, I don't like using the word smart money because it's just being corrupted by so many
Yeah.
people. I don't like that terminology, but yeah, institutions, that's the right word.
Yep.
Institutions,
Yep.
they want to buy when price is moving down. When it's moving down, that's when they are interested in buying because they want to get in at cheaper prices, not when it's going up. Because when it's going up, price is already appreciating. They don't want to buy expensive prices, right? But you and I, well, I don't do that, but some traders they buy when price is going up, which sometimes is counterproductive because you need to buy when it's actually moving down. And I'm not saying buy every down movement. There will be times that down movement will mean price is going down. You just need to understand the mechanics of how these institutions actually come into the market. So yeah, back to Tatsuo, I think is definitely gonna go up, especially looking at this whole move to the downside. it should be an exciting move to the upside. Once we break this, you're too late. So the earlier you get in, the better for you. Because once you break this, it might not slow down, it might just shoot up. Um, and then I think we were looking at AI 16Z.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, that's also very exciting. Had we looked at this earlier, we would have probably uh, got into this move this week. Sorry, that particular week here, because that was when price was showing. If you look at it from a from the daily time frame perspective, that down candle. Let me highlight that. That down candle there. That was this whole movement. Now, based on how I trade, right, we can go back to what I said. If we trade below this down candle, then we will be going down. As long as we're above it, it's going to be bullish. So all this movement here was just a pullback. And if you understand it, as soon as this candle printed, that one, you just buy long, and then the rest is history. Okay, so
Boom.
had we come to this
Sorry.
can yeah, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to make a boom sound effect.
Yeah. Had we come to this chat probably before Christmas, some people would have been smiling by now. But it's all good. I think it's still again in the initial stage. Price is gonna keep going up, um, especially with this week's candle showing big, exciting candle. January, which is this month, I expect them to go up again. I don't want to see any pullback yet because if we start seeing pullbacks, it's not good. Based on what I'm seeing, these down candles is when smart money, investors, institutions, I need to get that word out of my mouth. It's not good. Anyway, the down candles are when institutions are buying again, right? They bought here, and then price went up. They bought here, and then price went up. So they bought here, and now price is going up, right? Now, something that you might learn soon, if we are able to close above this, then buy it because we don't want to see them trade through the down candle. It's very simple. Okay. Again, I'm not your uh, financial advisor. Let me put that one out there. So always make sure that you take your own calculated risk, right? But I'll just point to what I am seeing based on my experience, and then you do what you have to do. Okay. So yeah, if we can close above this today, then tomorrow I'll expect a nice move to the upside again on AI 6Z.
May I ask you, pardon the interruption again. May I ask you, is there any like I guess projection for that upside?
Let me see. For now, I because the whoever is behind it is extremely bullish for now. So there was no sort of accumulation on the higher time frame. So it just started and it just jumped up. So if I was to do projection, I can't project it because I can't see investors buying it. They just all of a sudden it's going crazy
Hmm.
basically. So
Hmm.
it's like it's too bullish for people to accumulate. So it's like how do I put it? When it started, people had confidence in the project, or investors had confidence in the project. So they just boom, and it took off. So there's no accumulation, there's no buying initially, it just took off. So it will be hard for me to project it to the upside to know where exactly it's going. But since um, it's a new project, that's what I'm saying. Just follow the simple steps. Down candles will protect price as price is going higher. Okay, so if you look from here, every down candle has not been traded through yet. Now, when I see a down candle, if you study, you will see they move above it and then they never go below it. They move above it, they never go below it. So currently, this will be the last one if they can close above it. Personally, I like the close. When it doesn't close, it means nothing to me. But if it closes, then that's the one that I use. So if we can close above this today, then this would be the candle to pay attention to, that we don't want them to go below it. And with the projection, you can just use this one here because that'll be the last candle that basically the institutions used. So you can project this one to the upside and then maybe aim for 2.3 if you're a short-term trader. But long-term, I can't give a projection because again, I don't have clues as to when they came in. Had we come earlier on this, then this candle here on the weekly could have been projected to the upside, and then we would have got to the 1.27 level, which is roughly, sorry, yeah, the 1.27 price level, right? When they breached that, and the confirmation I gave was here. If you understand, then once this candle closed, then you aim for this in terms of projection. But since I don't have enough data on here, then I can't give that long-term projection. I hope it doesn't make sense, Igor.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you for going over that.
Okay, cool.
There is a request for something, and I might have to spell it out for you.
Okay.
It's another token. It's called Chachki.
Who?
So I'll spell it out for you. It's TSOTCHKE.
TSOTCHAE.
Oh, nope. Let me try that again. So
Mm-hmm.
TSOTCHKE.
TCHAE.
K like Kate. Yeah.
Okay. Um, is
Hopefully
that the
there's a
one?
yeah. Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. So let's have a look. So it's similar to AI. It just jumped in and started going off. But this movement, this whole move to the downside was them again buying, and then we rejected. Let me hide this for now. It's again, I think today a lot of people have learned something. As long as we are above this, we will continue going higher. Um, watch this level. We go to the H4. Yeah. Watch this for them to come and attack that and then go higher again. Back to the that was a long week. I don't like seeing price with that kind of wicks. It's not good. Yeah, so I'll keep an eye on here here. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on there for a continuation to the upside. I'll keep an eye on there for continuation to the upside for, I'll say medium term, because long term we don't have enough data for long term. So medium term, basically from here to continue going higher. Again, I think it's similar to that tool is new, so it might be in the accumulation phase, right? So for medium term, look for somewhere here to continue going up. And let me look at the short term. Yeah, I think yeah, it still stands. It still stands that level. This price is on the upside. This level is being it's challenging price from going higher. So if we can go above that, I think yeah, if we can go above this on a daily basis, if we can close above it on a daily basis, then it will mean something. But I don't think that will be the case for now because the movement to the downside are stronger than the movement to the upside. So I think they might come for these nice juicy golos in here, and then it might reject going high again. On the lower time frame, this is where I draw the line. So I look at price from the high time frame to the lower time frame, and then I look at where if I'm going to be trading based on either scalp, day trade, short term swing. I dab into all these. Um, I can scalp, I can day trade, I can swing, I can short term. So in terms of scalping, then this can be a level to go just up here, similar to what I gave for um, Solana yesterday. So in terms of scalping, we could be moving from here to there, and then that's it, pretty much. But short term, like I said, it might come here and then go up. So it depends on the kind of trader you are, really, because a scalper can get this and then get that and then be done, and then short term price will come back down here, and then they'll buy it to continue going up. It depends on how you want to see it. So if you are short term, then I will look here for continuation to the upside. But if you dab in and out, then probably look at this level for that, and then maybe you move down.
All right, awesome. That's great. And yeah, and just to kind of also add to that, if you're an investor, if you're a long-term investor and you have a projected path of years and years and years, then these are all entry points to look at. So that's just something to follow
Yeah,
up on.
if you're an investor, then they are pretty much at the lowest that it can be. And pretty much most of the time this um is good for investors. When it's at this cheap level, it's good for investors because then if you know the fundamentals behind it, that's when you can actually take more advantage of it because the fundamentals is what is going to drive the price up. Because if it's going to appreciate in price, then there must be something that investors are actually looking at, right? And if the fundamentals behind what it's actually about, I don't know what this is about, but if the fundamentals behind it, the reason behind it is valid and it has a long-term projection, then at this price, you might want to just scoop it up.
Amazing.
Sure.
Um, Sorry, was there anything else you wanted to add? I just wanted to kind of, I know that you have a tight schedule as well, and we're way beyond our projected
Oh,
hour. So I just want to make sure that you're okay. And
yeah, I still have about so usually we will run between 2:30, 2:40 because I still have a son
and,
and he
and
goes to
you're
school.
in the London time zone. Sorry, I just had to make it.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
a son and he goes to school and I drop him and pick him up every single day. So if today was a normal day, then within the next probably 20 minutes, I'll have to be on my way to pick him up. So we still have roughly about 10, 15 minutes if anyone wants to ask any question or if there's any pair anyone wants me to look at, because the crypto market is just crazy. There's so many of them. You can't go through all of them.
Is there anything that's been I know you mentioned something yesterday that you're looking at, like for example, like AVAX, which I'm a huge fan of too.
Right. Okay.
Feel free to go over that stuff too if you want.
Okay. So this is what I do. Because I have a couple of friends that actually trade crypto. So that's why I have this list here. It's actually from a friend of mine. So what I do is I put it on the high time frame, like the monthly and weekly. Let me just divide it into two now. So I'll put this on the weekly, actually monthly first. And then I'll put this on the weekly. So what I'm actually scanning for when I'm going through them is which one can I see the fingerprints or the footprints of this of smart money. So if I see it on the higher time frame, then I'm interested in that particular one. Right? That's how I look at the crypto market because I don't understand the fundamentals. I don't know what is behind it, but I know when smart money is in there or when investors are in there, I'll know their footprints, right? So I put it on the high time frame like this, and then I scan through them. So that's how I was able to see the one that I was talking about yesterday. I'll just put it on a time frame like this, and then I'll just go through it. If I see something that is of my interest, then I will basically analyze it, see what it's trying to do, and then I can give it as a potential uh, opportunity for anyone that wants to actually trade it. So let's say maybe this one is not ready yet, but it has the potential to go back up. Um, Alice, I don't know what that is. I don't know what is behind it, but from the technical perspective, it has the potential to go back up. Again, very, very simple. Just look at what price did. It went up from here. Where did it start from? Here. So this is where we'll be wrong. Now that we're here, we wait for price to go back up. Right? It's very, very simple. We don't need to complicate it. Once you understand the high time frame, then you can move to the lower time frame to find good entries to get in. Okay,
Hey there, I
sorry.
was just gonna mention.
My son just barged into my office. That's why.
Uh,
And that's gonna happen every now and then.
yeah.
He's home for the Christmas period and New Year. So every now and then, if he's not aware of himself, because sometimes he just forgets that I told him that he shouldn't come into the office. Anyway, so if that happens, I always mute myself because I don't want him to be making noise. If you remember back in the days,
Yeah.
anytime I'm doing a live session, he'll just barge in and start making noise. But he's grown now, so he understands a little bit more. Okay, so let's continue going through this. Okay.
Yeah, well, while you're looking through there, I'm just going to do a little bit of speaking, if that's all right.
Okay, okay, let's
Cool,
do that
cool.
because when it comes to this, the way I look at it, I have to just choose the one that um is of interest because there's so many of them you can't analyze all of them. So you just go through and see which one it's high probability of moving in
Well,
the direction
take
you're expecting.
take your time. Feel free to uh, turn off your headphones or whatever while I talk, so I don't distract you. I'm
That's
just
all
gonna
right.
do a little
You,
bit
you
of
can
chatting.
you can do
Okay.
it.
Yeah. So people are asking about everything else around ForexLens and the technology and what it is. And so we've posted the old portal and what that looks like pre Web3 and pre agentic integration. There is quite a bit of tokenomics planned and discussed, including logging in with different wallets, being able to use the token inside the platform. Uh, Definitely a lot that is being planned. However, also, I want to make it clear that all the early adopters get a huge say in how we release things. Uh, and that means that's only because there is quite a bit that we're doing, and I want to make sure that people don't get confused. Accessing premium features, tools, services for members, earning rewards, participating in community events, staking, referrals, um, you know, helping to shape the ecosystem, right? Uh, it's definitely also the DeFi aspect, which we'll get into another time. The reason why I'm holding off on a lot of the tokenomics is because we're in communication with a lot of experts uh, from different tokens as well. And we're making sure that we set everything up in accordance not only with different laws, but also with uh, the expectations of all the communities. So there's a lot of calculation and strategy that's going into this to make sure that we are professional and that we take things smooth and slow. And as the old saying goes, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So we want to make sure that we're doing things properly. We're not chasing money. We're not chasing price. We are doing what we love and experiencing our passions as a community, as people, as humans, as individuals. So if you're not about that, feel free to not be here. But if you are about that, then we're going to experience that together and we're going to learn, share, and become and grow as individuals together throughout this experience. All right. So just putting it all out there. My background is in software development, in trading. Uh, I went to school at the University of Toronto. I was educated and mentored by Tim Fung, who is a very, very well known and respected industry individual. He's got the Diamond Jubilee Award from the Crown. I've also been mentored by other people that have those awards and similar credentials. And my experience in the markets stems from stocks, from Forex, bonds, even things like potatoes. And I joke about that, but those are actually really great things to look at in the markets as well. I apply my knowledge from WD GAN, a lot of GAN knowledge learning cycles, Bennett, Benner, my apologies. I also even look at things like financial astrology, and people laugh at that, but they don't understand that there's a huge correlation and with uh, different things like that in the markets. It's even taught to chartered market technicians. And something that's really important to look at, especially if you're looking at moving large sums of cash around. And that's what we do. We look at the institutional trading um, and everything around it, right? So yeah, if you're here for a short term quick buck, great for you, good for you. I wish you luck, but we're here for the long term and we're here to help people grow and learn. That's our main goal. And we want to make sure that we're doing everything correctly and properly, right? So we're taking it one step at a time, one day at a time, not in a huge rush, but if you are, that's okay. Just follow the live sessions. That's what they're there for. They're there to help you through your daily uh, journey, your trading journey, or your investment journey, right? So that being said, I can reiterate a little bit more. There's definitely going to be access for holders, for members of the token, for premium tools. We are agentic friendly. We're partnered with the best of the best for those technologies, including Tetsuo, Chachki, and that we're just really getting started in building everything. But we do have a long history in terms of web platforms as well. uh, my experience, I've been an executive CTO for the past as long as I could almost remember. I was a digital producer at Sirius XM for the Crystal Nation show on Canada Talks. I have a lot of marketing experience as well, a lot of different connections in different fields. Um, I like to bring all that knowledge and information to the table. Um, and yeah, we're here to shape the future. We're here to help influence key decisions. With your help, obviously, we're here to help influence the ecosystem. Through the different tools that we're setting up in terms of governance. But we definitely believe in giving back to our community and our partnerships as a community. Everyone who is here early is helping us grow into a trusted platform and has helped us in the past. Not everyone from our since we started back in 2016 is here yet. We haven't done 100% outreach. We're trying to restart organically again, and once we're taking steps to ensure that everyone is properly introduced and protected. New traders are coming in as well. We want to make sure that all the new traders the resources, the educational material there to support them. So yeah, so if you're we're pretty excited. We're pretty excited. It's still early. I know that there's feedback that, for example, on X, it's not 1080p, so you can't see some of the prices and stuff like that. Don't worry, we'll get that fixed. Honestly, we're just like putting this all together, trying to get it out there as early as possible so that you can start benefiting off the analysis. And of course, every day you'll see that things are inching closer and closer to completion. All right. Please look back at older tweets so you could get to see what the platform sort of looks like. Like I said, it doesn't have the Web3 and agentic features on that demo, but you'll definitely be able to experience those soon. And of course, feedback from community. We are a fintech company. We create algorithms. Um, we do machine learning, MT4 and 5 scripts, bridges, right? So the entire market ecosystem is something that we're into. And we love to innovate. We love to talk to people who love to innovate. Huge readers. We love to read. Definitely gonna be recommending a bunch of different books. We have a whole area in the members portal with back education where even if you just go to the YouTube channel now, you could see some of those videos that are available in the portal. There's a sample of them. But for the most part, even these live sessions, like this sample live session, we're gonna do it for now where everyone can see. And but in the near future, it's going to be locked down in the portal only, where people will be able to access it. And of course, the TLDRs are going to be available shortly after. We are working on getting those TLDRs to happen in a real-time environment. Same with translations, right? So targeting French, Japanese, Mandarin, Arabic, you name it, Latin, all that is already integrated and just being massaged in through the pipeline. Um, so expect a lot of that. I'm a huge, uh, I guess, I'm a huge fan of the hyperverse, and we are definitely going to be releasing spatial systems for this platform for both MetaQuest, Vision, and other devices, as well as the iOS and Android apps. All the integrations are being completed. Things are going to be rolling out in Q1 and Q2. Roadmap will be posted. White papers are going to be posted. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, other than that, we'll just be doing these live sessions and keeping you updated every single day. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Oh
Oh,
yeah, one more thing is, sorry, go on.
yeah, I'm just I'm making an I'm making fun of what you said. You said boom, I'm saying cool.
Oh yeah, no, awesome. Yeah, like there was there was one more thing. Oh yeah, so I was gonna do a X Spaces AMA, but we are like severely over time, and I am with my family right now. And I know IT is also, you know, we're just kind of um have pretty busy schedules. So we will follow up with that AMA at a later time. I'll send out an update on X, and we can deal with that a little bit later. Hopefully, I've answered enough questions for you folks, and apologies to anyone who feels like they've been ignored. That's not my intention. I'll definitely get back to you. And yeah, you can definitely expect us back here tomorrow, going over the same pairs and looking forward to if anybody wants to be a speaker on the AMA, feel free to DM me and we'll get that sorted out. And yeah, I guess we'll, IT, is there anything else you wanted to add?
Um, yes. So, I think one thing that you didn't bring up is not just trading. We're going to be dealing with a lot of psychological stuff as well,
Right.
because I believe that um, the study of the mind. I learned this from what's his name, Mark Douglas, when I was learning about market psychology, and he made this comment that what does it take for a trader to be a trader? He asked the audience, and some of them saying you need a computer and a mouse, and probably an account. And he said, yeah, that's all true, but to be a good trader, you're always going to be dealing with the mind. So you need to learn how the mind works. You need to learn how you work, because without understanding how your mind works, you will always be your own enemy. And that's one huge aspect of trading that most traders actually avoid. They don't want to go there, but that's where, you know, success is made. Once you can understand yourself, your mind, then you can be successful. So we will be dealing a lot in terms of psychology, in terms of personal growth. There's a lot of stuff that we will share with you all, and then that will help you to grow outside trading as well, because it's not just about making money, but it's about making you a better person as well. So yeah, that aspect too will be coming.
Yeah. Boom. Very true. That's that's a really good point.
Yeah. So I think I went through all of them and I saw this one that has potential to go up, which is Cake USDT. So I think we've come back into a pullback, into an accumulation phase, and we had this big move to the upside that happened. So I think they will be going back up again. Um, Same thing with this. It's not pulled back enough yet, but if you see it coming back down a little bit more, just look for continuation to the upside because it's showing a lot of. I like this one more than the previous one because of this big movement that happened. So it's kind of pulling back, and it will resume going up again. And then the last one was this one here, similar to the other one that I just showed. We've pulled back down, nice area for a continuation to the upside. I've not talked about anything yet, but that's an area to look for a turning point to happen, and then you can start looking for price to go back up again. So that's me done, Mr. Eagle.
Amazing, awesome. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you doing all this. I your knowledge is amazing. Your brain is incredible. I'd love to be able to dive into this stuff with you, and super excited for the future. Um, yeah, so uh,
Awesome. I think we will
sorry.
meet again tomorrow, same time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Perfect.
Same time, same channel.
Yes. Thank everyone for tuning in.
Yes, thank you everybody for tuning in, and yeah, we'll be like I said, we'll be reposting this and TLDR coming, all that good stuff. Take care.
Are you there, Mr. Eagle?
Yeah, I'm here. Did you stop the RTMP?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm just watching it on the restream. I think it's a little lag, so I'm gonna leave it on until it finishes the I think it's like a